to follow along. Now I'm going to stop in between here and there and kind of talk you through it. But first of all, we're going to start with the introduction. Now, the first thing you got to realize is that if you're like me, you probably just accept friends randomly and you don't really make a connection to begin with. Some of you might, but because most people don't, this is why it's important to start off the call this way. You don't want to start the call off prospecting them. You don't want to start off the call blasting them with your business. You must actually relax and have a conversation. You must actually be genuinely interested in connecting with this person. So for the sake of this conversation, let's assume that David lives in, I know the area code of Florida. I think it's 407. So David, right now for this example, you live in Florida, and I'm calling the 407 area code, okay?
Okay.
All right. So when I pick up the phone and I ring David's line, here's what I'm going to say. All right. Ring, ring.
Yeah, hello?
Hey, may I speak to David Wood, please?
Yeah, this is him. Who's this?
Hey, David, this is Larry Beecham, man. You may remember that you and I just connected on Facebook as friends, man. You accepted my connection, I accepted yours. But it's my habit to try to connect to as many of my friends as possible. Yeah, you remember me. That's good. I was calling to see if we could connect, David. Is this a good time for us to talk?
Yeah, sure. Sure. What's going on, man?
Okay, excellent. So let's stop there. So first of all, the introduction is, hey, David, this is Larry from Facebook. We're friends. We just connected. We haven't met yet. So I was calling to see if I could connect with you. Is this a good time for us to connect and talk? And David says yes. So you want to make sure that you ask that question. All right. Now, the first place that's the easiest for us to begin to build some rapport is where David lives. Now, I called a 407 area code. So I'm simply going to say, so David, man, you're in 407 area code, man. Where's that at?
Oh, it's in Florida, man.
Really? Really?
Yeah,
Florida. I got a good. Okay, I got a good buddy of mine that lives in Tampa, Florida, man. I'm sure you probably don't know him, but he lives in Tampa.
Oh,
I've been in Tampa a few times. Have you ever been to Tampa?
Yeah, a couple times, man. It's a good place. I like it down there. I used to work for a company that had a headquarters out there called USAA. So back in the day.
Okay, that's cool, man. Yeah, I've actually been to Tampa a few times, man. Now, are you a native of Florida, or did you move there from somewhere else?
No, I'm actually from Alaska. I just kind of been down here for a couple of years. Just enjoy the nice warm sunshine.
Did you say Alaska? My God.
Yeah, I did.
Now, you know what? I've never actually talked to somebody from Alaska. So did you move from Alaska because of the weather or for some other reason?
Yeah, partly weather and just kind of, I guess weather would be the reason for that. It's just kind of freezing cold up there, and that's not me. I like I'm a warm creature animal. So is my wife. So we kind of came down here to just kind of enjoy the nice sunshine, go play in the ocean a little bit, and still be near a big city. You know what I'm saying?
Excellent. Okay, now let me stop for a moment. Now, as we conversate, David has given me information about himself personally that gives me room to continue to connect. For example, he explained why he's in Florida as opposed to Alaska because of the weather. Well, I happen to live in a state that has snow too. I could build a place of relatability there. He mentioned having a spouse. I'm married, so I could go to a place with David. So, man, okay, so you're married. So how long have you been married? I've been married for 14 years myself. How about you? So the whole concept here is not to have a so-called script, but to actually listen to David connect to me, and everywhere that you can find a connectable point, meaning something that you find a place of relatability, then you bring that into the conversation because, again, this is about getting to know David at this point, getting to connect to David. All right, so I could have said, so David, you're married, man. That's excellent. Do you and your wife have any children? I actually have 5 kids. Then David's gonna say, oh yeah, well no, we don't have any kids yet, but we might be planning to have some children, et cetera. So all we're doing is just talking and connecting, just conversating. So that again, that's the introduction to warm and fuzzy phase. And if you just relax and just conversate, it will come natural. Be yourself. Don't be interested in trying to get David into anything. Right now, I'm not trying to get anything. As a matter of fact, this whole conversation is not about getting anything. So in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to wrap this up because I know David wants to move on. But here's how we move into the next phase. So now that we've done a little warm and fuzzy, I'm going to transition now to what we call the fact-finding phase. And this is something like you can say, and this is a transitional phrase. David, I'm kind of curious, man. Are you on Facebook for business, or are you on Facebook just to kind of socialize, get to know people?
Personally, I really only reason I ever log in there is to build business relationships. Honestly.
Really? Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So how often do you log in? I mean, do you get on Facebook pretty often?